kinds of people we're looking at here. Two different situations. If we both walked onto a plane, I would be the pilot, you would be a passenger. I am an innovator. You are an imitator. I'm a leader. You are a follower. I am a winner, and all of you are losers.
You want answers?
I think I'm entitled.
You want answers?
I want the truth!
You can't handle the truth.
Exit stage left, exit stage right. There is no place to run. All the fuses in the exit side have been burned out.
Now I'm the one doing the challenging.
And starting this moment from now, from this moment on, this will be the moment, starting now, of the genesis of
the Professors of Wrestling.
Dave.
What's up? Is the
Public,
sound?
I don't know.
The sound. Let me check the sounds.
We're up.
We're up.
Publix chicken tender subs are on sale until Wednesday.
I know, and I'm on a scavenger hunt lunch today because we're both busy. Not you and I, but my life partner, my spouse.
Gotcha.
Is busy, so yeah, I announced that in class. I said a couple announcements. First thing, chicken tender subs at Publix are on sale this week, and everybody's like, yeah! It was like made me feel like the most popular person in the room for about half a second.
My students didn't know what it was.
They've never had
A Publix chicken tender sub.
I think, I would argue Publix is the best sub in town.
Yes.
Bar none.
Bar none.
And I would challenge anybody else listening right now, prove me wrong.
That is true.
I'm up for the challenge. I will go and try.
Your sub. Well, how you doing, Dave?
I'm good. Last night was great.
It was a great event. Welcome to the Professors of Wrestling. I'm Dorrian.
I'm Dave.
And we want to be Taco Bell famous, so subscribe to our YouTube page. We are coming up with different types of ideas every day that I see Dave.
Yes.
Like the Facebook page, let us know what you think, and provide us with feedback and suggestions. Follow us on Instagram at the Professors of Wrestling. Share it all, spread the word, join in the discussion, because we want to be a community.
And we like where this page and the interaction and talking to people at shows is growing, I think, since we started doing this.
For sure. I think it's something that is good for us.
Yeah.
It's good for the wrestling indie community, and we just want to keep it going.
And I think we've said this a couple episodes back, but a rising tide lifts all ships, and that cliche statement, and everybody helping us out, and it's a great community, and I'm glad everybody's accepted us into it. So, but that brings us to this week's sponsor again. It is Ben Owens Music, the Pink House on 1803 Plum Street. It is the music store. It's kind of like a barbershop. You go in there. Stuff's always changing. There's always certain characters going on. But if you're looking for a guitar, you're looking for a trombone, you're looking for a violin, you're looking for a ukulele, you need something fixed, Ben Owens is the place to go. It is Valdosta/Remerton's music store to go to. They have an Instagram at Ben Owens Music and a Facebook page. Just look it up there. Or just come by and see what's going on. Because not only do they offer all that, but they offer all lessons for drums, guitar, and piano. So check out Ben Owens Music online, or better yet, do it in person. 1803 Plum Street. It's behind all the bars on Remerton. It is the hidden gem of music stores in the Valdosta area.
We have no Bosch takes.
I know, that's exciting. Though I think last time I would just pull the whole Anchorman. That's what in front of me. I'm gonna read it.
Yeah, that's true.
So unless there's something we missed and report, and we may have botch takes this episode, let's not get too excited.
Right.
Which now we don't have anything. We can't go into that part, but just a little bit of light news because October, kind of light, which I kind of appreciate a little bit of a break.
Right.
So what's going on news-wise, Dorrian?
Sunbelt, November 16th, we head to the Lean Ox Festival in Lenox, Georgia. It's at 1 p.m. It's free admission. So you should be there.
And I think we're going to talk about storylines that built up to it, and I can speak for myself, but there's some cool stuff that's going down. Some cool matches.
Way to make it happen, Sunbelt. Spinebuster, they have no shows until January, but we have some news that we want to creep out there.
Yeah. Did you want to do that now or later?
Nah, we'll do it later.
Okay.
SWA, November 16th. They're at the Peacock Center in Pavo, Georgia.
So it's next on the 16th, a 2-for day.
Yeah, we're heading to the Lean Ox Festival, then driving right to Pavo.
Yes, so that'll be exciting. And then, do you want to do this one?
It's all you, dude.
All right. The Professors, that's us. We are going to be getting some interviews, adding more content to our YouTube page. Dates have been set. Like, we're going to interview James Adams of Rockstar Adrenaline Wrestling. That's going to be happening. And we were going to do the round table, but because of scheduling and whatnot, we've decided to take an audible. And we're going to be doing something different. We're still going to talk to those veterans. It's just going to be framed a little bit different and done a little bit different. Just as when something goes on and you need to adjust to the crowd during a wrestling match, we're making the adjustments to those people because we want to talk to them because I think they have some really good stories they need to tell.
Schedule subject to change.
Yes. And lastly, we talked about this before we recorded.
We're headed to Atlanta to see NWA Power on December 15th.
Oh, I'm looking forward to that.
I'm 2 episodes behind, but I'm excited to see what happens.
Yes.
6:05.
We got this week some really interesting questions.
Yes.
And takes posted by that one. Hey, let's do the first one last.
The first one last?
Let's go to Beatrice.
Yeah.
Because that's happening this weekend.
SWA fans want to know where their Renegades are. If you haven't been able to see SWA lately this morning and yesterday, Task Force has been calling out a lot. They call it Pavo.
Yeah.
And I think we just need the Renegades back. They are the most dominant tag team in SWA history.
They were in Brooks County, right?
What do you mean?
They were in the Battle of Brooks County.
I think it was a few months back.
Yeah. But the one we didn't go to.
But Task Force wasn't there.
Yeah.
So we have to wonder who's dodging who in this situation.
I mean, it seems like Beatrice, and I agree with the sentiment right there. She's calling out SWA, whoever's in charge. I mean, we don't know who the commissioner is this week. They've turnover's pretty high with them, but can they answer that question?
Where are our Renegades?
Or is this purposely doing it? You know, they go away, so we miss them.
Because someone's gonna have to take down Trash Force.
You used to be such a fan.
I did, and then they couldn't win without Rod Grimes.
Yeah, true. I don't know. That's a good question. And Beatrice, if you have an idea where Renegades are, I mean, they probably at some place eating biscuits.
The biscuit conspiracy.
Yes. Jared Harris chimed in and says, of all the companies you guys cover, which one has the best belt design? And I don't think my answer is going to please Mr. Harris.
Mine either. I think where we sit, we really don't see the full design of the belt.
Yeah.
I think the one that we've seen from far away is the Titan.
Yeah.
Just because it has the big helmet.
Yeah, like the Spartan kind of look to it.
Right, that's the one that you can see from far away, but the other ones, not so much. Well, we did see the tag team champions because Spinebuster posted that one.
Yeah.
And that one was pretty cool.
I mean, and it's always, I'm agreeing with it. Like, we're always so far away. Like, the stuff that I'm most familiar with is probably stuff you see. Like, I liked the old WWF Big Eagle belt back, like, before they changed it. So it had been probably, like, late 70s and things of that. But, I mean, we don't cover that locally. I don't know if I have know how to frame what a best belt design is. Maybe we need to, and we kind of talked about this when we were pre-showing a little bit. We'll post your belt up here. But again, it's a competition and it's all aesthetics. It's what people like and what they don't like.
Are you with the bling? Are you on the bling side of it? Should the belt spin? Because I know yesterday when we were...
Yeah.
What is it, in Pelham?
Yeah.
The kid who had the belt, the WWE belt that spun.
I didn't care for that one. That was like during the John Cena era.
Yeah. Too flashy? Okay.
Yeah, I just didn't... I don't know, it just didn't sit. I've always liked the NWA belt. Okay. So that's why I'm kind of excited with the flags and I think maybe the history behind it too. I think Belt design, I think that's always, to me, secondary because you look at the history of the belt and you look at new promotions.
True.
Like Spinebuster, relatively new. Like what history gets tagged into it, that's what draws people to it. And then there's the aesthetic thing. So I'm interested to see what history is Spinebuster going to build.
SWA, what is it? Rockstar Adrenaline Wrestling, we've seen their belt.
Yeah.
Broken Bones Wrestling, we've seen theirs.
Well,
we've seen one. We don't know who's.
we have no idea what's going on with that promotion.
And then Sunbelt.
Yeah.
You know,
We've seen the pose at a distance.
we've seen it at a distance.
Yes. And then I've seen the Fest belt, but that's always at a distance as well. Oh, I got to add that in here. So,
Yeah. So we'll ask that question later on today, who has the best belt in independent wrestling. And we hope to see some answers.
yeah. If you have a picture of belt, and again, it's opinion based, don't get too angry about it. Trolling is not appreciated.
True.
Last question, and this was sent in. I'm gonna just keep it from somebody. It took me a DM on this one. So, I mean, you saw it kind of earlier, and I kind of reframed it. So, what is a fan's role? Or let me start over again. Fan's role. How far should they go when it comes to kayfabe? I mean, whether their role is the fan. Does that make sense?
Not so much.
Okay, let me start over again. Fan's role. How far is too far? And when it comes to kayfabe, can they be, if they're taking a role, they're taking their role as a fan, and we know it's a storyline, we know it's a drama of some sort right there, or a comedy or whatever like that. What is the line fans need to maintain, or does it become, when they cross that threshold, does it become harmful? Does it create a negative situation? Does that frame it a little bit better?
That one I understand.
Okay.
I think we've seen some times where kayfabe crosses a line. Think back to when the Scoundrel won his belt from Brandon Law.
Yeah.
And it was Kyle who put Brandon in that match with a bad ankle.
Yeah.
We saw the one lady of Pavo get in Kyle's face.
Yeah.
Saying, "Why are you hurting your wrestlers? You don't care about the wrestlers."
She was going to go to the Pavo Sports Commissioner or something like that.
For sure. She was going to write an angry letter.
Yeah.
The other thing is the mayor of Pavo, when him and the Scoundrel get in each other's faces.
Yeah.
You got to have a lot of restraint on the from the Scoundrel not to show this kid a lesson.
Yeah. We've seen that with Trash Force, too.
Yes. They definitely get in people's faces, and we got to hand it off to Tiffany for maintaining security
And control.
Best security in South Georgia.
I've seen it, and maybe, I don't know if you were there at one time, and it was, I don't know what the promotion was. I don't know if it was like or EPW or whatever, that the guy started walking into the ring. He was so upset. Were you there for that one?
I don't know.
But it's just like, whoa, what is it? And I think as fans, you get into it, and you want to suspend disbelief. It's like going to a movie. Nothing drives me more crazy than when people like going, well, the science of this is, it's a stupid Star Wars movie, or it's not real enough. Just suspend disbelief. Does it do, I'm going to say, like, the last Star Wars movie, or the Han Solo movie came out, I thought it was pretty alright. I was entertained. Did it have, like, aliens? Did it have, people shooting lasers? Did it have, like, spaceship stuff? It had every on the checklist. Was it perfect? No. Could I do a better job? No, I could not. But I felt like my entertainment dollar was well spent the money. So when it comes to fans, I think you want to get into it. You have ownership because we have our favorites.
Yes.
We want to root for people. We want to boo for people. We want to boo the heels. Like, who doesn't want to boo David Ali, a Spinebuster?
I mean, he is the person to boo.
He is a number. I mean, and so what is the line? I think we can voice our opinion, voice like, but I think there's a threshold. We saw that one time when, like, people were getting really catty with the female heel in Pavo. It's like, oh, that's a little bit too far.
Yeah, Pavo has, when they start talking about some of their crossing lines,
yeah,
Pavo knows how to get under people's skin, I would say. With Spinebuster, you start to think about the Undertaker.
Yeah.
Or the guy with all the belts.
Yeah.
where does he go as far as like, is he a wrestler or is he not a wrestler?
Yeah.
My students once recorded him for like their documentary, and he did the whole promotion thing as if he was the Undertaker.
So is that too far?
I think so. When you start believing it,
You become the character?
right? I don't think he could take on David Ali.
Well, I don't think so either. I think David Ali is in one, he's young.
Right.
He's in great physical shape. Yeah. I think too is like, well, you're going to put yourself or the performer in harm's way.
And they always tell you it's at your own risk, and that's one risk I'm never taking. You're never gonna see me get in the ring with a Hunter Mako.
No.
It's just not gonna happen.
I enjoy the jabberjaw and I enjoy the trash talking, but I understand there's a line you can cross.
Right.
And get too far into it. I enjoy that part. You know, I think it's great to see what witty retorts. You know, how do they deal with hecklers? And I enjoy, like, when the wrestlers put those people in their place. They're just like, they've got the one line they've been saving up all week.
Yeah.
And then they go, boom.
Like the girl that sat next to us one time.
At Pavo?
At Pavo, who was making fun of Maverick's hair.
Yeah. That was me. That was an audience on audience. Well, she was kind of annoying.
You destroyed her. So fans, please be safe out there. Don't take your kayfabe over the line.
Yeah. Understand. It's fun.
It is.
It's the one place where you can hate on stuff and it's appropriate too. But, like, what's that line of, like, you know, anyway. So that brings us to this week's, I don't know, should we rename this Car Talk or something? We need to come up with a better title than this, or we've titled something to chew on. But
something to chew on. I think the fans or the listeners we talk about it when we're eating.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. That's a good double entendre right there.
I try.
Good one.
What makes for a good show?
I think we've talked about this in the past, and this is something I always think about, specifically after Sunbelt show last night. It is you've got to have an announcer, you know.
Ben did great.
Ben does a great job. I think the announcer is not the center of the show. They're the person. I look at it as like, I compare it to doing stand-up comedy. MC is not the center. They're the person that moves things along, notices the crowd. Oh, a little bit restless. I need to hype them up before this match. They're just like a transition between everything. I think you need to like think about how you're going to book it match-wise.
Right.
Where do you start at? How does things build up? When do you like do that? And I think time, because you become tired after a while. Like some of these pay-per-views for some of these major promotions, big league promotions, or however you want to frame it. Like, I don't know if I have 4 hours. I just want to sit. I don't like watching. You know, it's like watching an NFL football game. It's a time commitment. That's 4 hours of your life.
That is true.
That you're dedicating to. So even like on an independent promotion thing, what is the bright line? How far can you go? And being aware of that too, because there's kids there, people are there. You know, there's just so many different factors. So, and I think it's like, what is the promo to wrestling talk to wrestling thing?
Yeah. So I think let's start with timing. Matches are usually set for about 15 minutes.
Yeah.
I've gotten pretty good at calling how long a match is going to go.
Where I can second that.
Yes, I appreciate it. A match, the big ones, you know, are going to go the 15.
I don't mind even going like a half an hour, because they're going to build a story to it.
The match going in a half an hour?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. That's a tough one, Dave.
Yeah.
We look at some of the ones, if it builds story, then yeah, let's move it to the half an hour. We look at the order of all the matches.
Yeah.
I think Sunbelt started super strong last night with the Bryce Canyon and Frank Voodie.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that a little bit later.
Yeah.
What's the match before intermission? Is it going to get people excited to come back?
Yeah.
And then when they come back, what's the match that you're going to plug right in there?
I also think is you don't want to leave your fans tired once it comes to the main event, where you've just worn them out. We've been to some of those before. We're like, how much longer is this going to be? Because that's you're there because you want to see those. Those are the main event. Those are the draw. Right. Those are the people that are selling tickets. Those are the people that are money. So I think you have to get across the wrestlers. It's like, this is not about you. You're a mid-carder. You're this part, and I think your goal is to get up to be a main eventer. But that I think that's important.
That's true. What is the promo gonna look like? Like when the one wrestler comes out,
Yeah.
gets people hyped for the night. Is it gonna be super long, full of talking of stuff that we've already heard?
Yeah.
Or is it gonna be impactful to make people be like, oh man, look at these this wrestler who has the best mic skills?
I think particularly these promotions that do go once a month or every other month, the promo is important because that pushes storyline because not everybody was there at the last show.
Right.
So you've got to have good mic skills. I think that's important.
Because, one, not only are we, it's that whole rising tide,
Yeah.
we're part of the ship, you got to push them towards your social media so that all those videos that people are seeing, so when they get to the show, they have that semi-backstory of what's going to go on.
I think that's something I think of the most critical of anything we talk about is like use of social media. How are you effective as a promotion? Are you effective as a wrestler, as talent, and using that?
Because if you can get a bunch of people to come to your social media and you're cutting these promos, that only helps you more with your mic skills so that when you get in front of all these fans.
Yeah. And I think that goes into something to chew on that we had talked about last night is how long does it take a wrestler to move up?
Right.
I think in today's day and age, it's different than 20, 30 years ago where you're reliant on the promotion and you're kind of like not only your hard work, but you have more power over like whether you're getting over with fans as a face or a heel. So if you're out there, you're creating touch points, you're creating engagements, you're cutting good promos, you're promoting yourself right. You have the most tools today. You know, your talent, your gimmick, your character, your thing you bring to the ring. You have a lot of choices on how that's presented before you even get into the ring. Right. And do some of these people take advantage of it? No, but I guess it just depends on where you want to be.
Because some of my favorites, my two favorites that I follow right now is Ox and Lexi Gomez.
You mean
as far as
old gym coach?
Old gym coach.
Yeah.
He has a pretty cool Twitter.
For reals.
Top notch.
Oh man, I have to pay attention to that.
I follow Ox.
And I call him Gym Coach with love because it was a reference point from many episodes ago.
Yeah. So those two are killing the social media game, and I love watching them post every day.
Do you think that's why Ox gets like fans go just crazy?
Probably. I mean, you get to see a different side of him, and as well as the wrestling.
Yeah.
The knowledge is there, and then I guess that opportunity to bond with the fans is something that's really good.
What do you think goes into a good promo video? You know who's been doing it good is I think Proc the Croc does some really good promo videos.
Yes. So location,
yeah,
for sure. Lighting. How does the audio sound?
Yeah.
What are the angles you're gonna take? This is probably like more video production.
I think there's a technical side, but I'm talking about. Okay, so there's the technical side. I would agree. And this is going as a non-mass media person. What is like the emotion? What things do you look at? The non-tangible stuff that you.
I want to be surprised. I want to see like what's the different video aspect that you're gonna take. Take for example, Cassius Mack waiting outside of Hold My Beer Hansen's house, and doing it from that kind of angle. I thought that was pretty cool. Or when you see Hold My Beer on the back of a truck, or when he did the tractor to call out David Ali.
Yeah.
What's the theme of it? How are you gonna relate that to who you are as a wrestler?
So you appreciate the creativity aspect,
right?
I'm sorry.
What about you?
I like the creativity aspect. I like how does that build up to the story that's going to happen. I prefer the more kind of like camera and then I'm the wrestler right here. I don't mind the kind of like the background, the thought into it, but at the same time, if it looks too staged, like a production thing, because I think of it like those like it's two people going back and forth and beef, and how they're going to settle it is in the ring, or if it's a tag team in the ring right there. So maybe just some overthinking. I think when you think about people overthink it and try to make it too fancy or try to make it too WWE, because then I think it loses a little bit of authenticity, and you're trying to be something that it's not, and that's not a bad thing. But that's saying, like, and I'm not saying you should shoot above your weight class or anything like that, but make it you. Don't make it something that somebody else has already done.
Understandable. Very understandable.
So, what else do you think, like, how long it takes somebody to move up to the ranks to go from a small regional promotion all the way up into, like, a bigger indie, and maybe then they want to move into a national promotion?
I think it's about that networking. Who are you networking with? Who are you meeting? Behind the scenes, you may see, if you're a veteran wrestler and you see a young wrestler coming up, maybe there's things that you did in your past that didn't work out so well, so you have this wealth of information. Mm-hmm. Why not take that time? It's not your job, but it's something that would help them move on. I think you also think about, what does the match look like when you go out there? We talk about the people who are in the mid card or the low cards. Mm-hmm. If you're the mid card, make it the best mid card we've ever seen.
Yeah.
Or the fans have ever seen.
But I think sometimes you can put, and I've done this in booking shows, I'm going to put somebody that's way stronger that probably should be farther up on the bill, but I want to start out strong.
Right.
I'm going to bring my A game. You know, it's like when you go see a band and you see a lot of kind of like, a lot of nostalgia stuff for stuff that I grew up listening to, and they open up with some of their best material, and like, damn, usually that's for the encore, or that's for like later on the show. You know, they're coming out swinging bats. I can appreciate that too. So I think where you're at on the bill doesn't necessarily represent where your skills are at.
Right.
But I think it's a drive too. How bad do you want it? And also I think how far you move up is, what do you define as success?
That is true. And we'll definitely get into that a little bit later.
Yeah.
As far as when we start talking legacies and all.
So, I don't know, anything else you want to add to that?
Nope.
I was just thinking here, the next topic, let's talk about it next episode and what we're looking forward to, because you need to get through the rest of those episodes.
Sounds legit.
So we're going to talk about NWA Power and that one.
And we'll be back from it all once we see it.
Yes. Oh, we might have another episode. We got to look what's going on. But anyway, and then something to chew on, we need to discuss, do we want to add Fest Wrestling onto this?
As like a promotion that we go to?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've missed out like twice.
And they've done more. Some of it we couldn't go to for outside reasons, but I've gone to Fest now every year in a row that I've won. I've gone to Fest several times now, but I mean, I enjoy it.
It looks awesome.
So maybe we need to do some research and then come back next episode and talk about Fest. And we might have a Fest reporter too.
Wow, that'd be pretty cool.
And you're talking about networking. Bam!
Let's network.
So if anybody else has checked out Fest, I'd be interested to see what your thoughts on it are, and maybe we'll do some more questioning on the Facebook and stuff like that.
Quick plug before we move on.
Yeah.
Taylor Cook, we saw him. Georgia Beer Company.
Yes.
Rocking the house.
Yes.
It was a great show.
Follow him on the social media. He is the something troubadour. I'll put a link in the show notes.
Yes.
But check out Taylor Cook. He's playing all around South Georgia, North Florida, everything like that. Singer-songwriter. You gotta support the arts.
Support the arts.
Good call. Good catch.
That concludes our Something to Chew On. You think?
I think so. I think this week.
Now it's time for my favorite thing in the whole wide world to say.
Yeah.
It is DCCW Destiny Combat Championship Wrestling. They are back December 14th at the Baker County Fairgrounds with their biggest show of the year. You do not want to miss this show.
I don't think I'm going to be able to go to it because we're up in Atlanta, and I might be trying to book myself a show somewhere so I can go on Saturday and then just roll up to Atlanta where it's close by.
Gotcha.
But it looks good, and they haven't gotten back to me when I've sent them information.
But we know it's all love.
Yeah. Write them up.
Spinebuster.
Yes.
No shows until January.
Holiday break. Also, I just want to note that they do have a wrestling school. We've talked about it in the past. Check it out. They are kind of like on recess for better lack of a term, until March. But it one thing I like is they do a lot of homegrown talent.
Yes.
And you see those coming up, and then we're looking at like that talent even over the past year just improve. So if you're looking to get into the wrestling game, check out Spinebusters if you're in the Valdese area.
Legit.
But we have talking points.
High ones. This first one, what will become of AMH?
We kind of talked about this a little bit on the way up to the show in Pelham yesterday. They were kind of muted personality-wise than they were the previous month. They were very braggadocious. We're on top of the world. We're taking names, all that stuff. That cockiness.
Are they losing their swagger?
I don't know. I mean, they lost some belts.
Yeah. We have to wonder. Let's run down the list of AMH. Catalina Perez, not a champion.
No.
Can she beat Lexi Gomez?
I mean, I think it's interesting to know what's going to happen. Is she where it's her standing
with it?
Within it, how is Preston Paradise going to build that back up? I mean, it was a match to behold. I mean, there was the you called it. I did not, because I was like,
Chalondra Royale.
Chalondra Royale was kind of literally the wild card in that one, which may have thrown her game off a little bit.
Yeah.
And was she prepared for something like that?
We'll have to see if it keeps continuing.
Okay.
Second one, David Ali.
Still holds a belt.
Still holds a belt. Didn't face Logan Creed due to car troubles. Air quotes.
Allegedly.
Right. Ashton Starr. This was a great match. I mean, compared to their first time when we saw them fight, this one was a lot better.
Yeah.
Ashton Starr has a lot more skills. And one would have to wonder, who's going to challenge David Ali?
David Ali brings a lot of skill set to the game. I'm not denying that. Do I like his attitude? Not really. But I mean, are we going to see another like the rubber match between David Ali, Ashton Starr?
I think they'll have to throw in Logan Creed. I don't think we'll see that one again, where it's just those two.
So, again, how are the troops going to rally with AMH to support them? Because this last match, there wasn't, other than Connor Mason, there was nobody around. I mean, I'll just stop right there. They didn't have everybody around to help out other than Connor. And what does Connor Mason really offer as far as when it comes to help, other than running his mouth?
Glad you brought his name up. Connor Mason.
Yeah.
We'll hit on him next. Not the commissioner.
No.
Still hasn't done anything to Shotgun Charlie Walker.
No.
One has to wonder, can he wrestle versus Shotgun Charlie Walker? Who would win?
That's a good question. Or do they pick wrestlers to represent themselves? You know what I mean? They're like captains.
That'd be cool. I'd pay to see that.
So, is that how this gets resolved? Because that beef has been stewing for a while since Connor Mason got ixnayed out.
Right.
And then he was running his mouth.
Team Connor versus Team Shotgun.
That could be interesting what's going to happen. I mean, I guess what Shotgun Charlie Walker, role within this. I mean, you can't just be wandering around holding an iPad with nothing to do.
That is true. Then we move up. Preston Paradise.
Tag team champion.
Holder of the money.
Ace in the hole.
Yeah. Who is he going to challenge? Because who's left? I mean, you would think it's J2 Strong.
Right.
How does he feel about his whole stable, his whole group, faction of wrestlers, not living up to the Platinum Playboy standard?
And he talked a lot of mad trash like they were going to come in during Havoc.
And they did not.
No.
We have to do the research.
Yeah.
And see what's going to happen with there.
Maybe AMH didn't do their homework and they came in like ready for the test.
And they did not pass.
No, they ended up like, we're going to ace this thing, and they ended up getting like C's.
That is true.
What about
our favorite?
Mako.
Top of the line, held the belt for over a year. That's over 365 days.
Ding, ding. We need a belt. This is when we want like a sound effect in here just for cheesiness.
For the ding.
Yeah.
Hunter Mako He no longer holds a belt.
No.
This is a new feeling for him. He has
a tag team belt, though.
He does have a tag team belt, but is that the belt that he truly wants?
Right.
How can he make the tag team division just as well as he made the other division the best?
So would you argue that there's some, not only like some psychological issues, mental preparedness issues, I don't know another better way to say that needs to be addressed in the AMH camp?
Yes.
They could impact them, and they're going to have to sit on this like 2 months.
2 months. Stewing. Ring rust. How do they bounce back?
Okay, transition. Ring rust. J2 strong. That was a concern because we saw him
at the anti-bullying.
Yeah.
And then we saw him transition into Havoc.
Yeah.
For Spinebuster. And then we saw him last night.
Correct.
Let me tell you, it's building up. Not the ring rust. The ring rust is going down, but the skill is going back up.
Yeah.
You're seeing J2 Strong get back to his normal form.
Is he going to be? He wasn't wearing the brace,
right?
Which we saw him in the first 2 matches. How strong is J2 Strong going to be coming back to? Which is kind of good that he's going to get a break from Spinebuster because that was pretty brutal.
That was a brutal match.
It was insane brutal. I cringed a couple times, particularly off the ladder onto the 2 tables.
Yes.
That was insane.
But it was a great match.
It was. I was like... It was a great match, and it was a great build-up. It was a great storyline. But, I mean, again, going back, is Mako going to want a re-challenge for that?
How do you top that match?
I don't know. That's a great question. So, what is J2 Strong role in all this stuff? Is he going to rally the troops? Are him and Proc the Croc going to get back together? Or is Proc going to want to continue on down his singles path? Because he's got momentum.
He's rolling through. But is Proc the Croc really the number 1 contender?
I don't know. We'll find out that come January. So who's going to be? I mean, would it be fair to say Maverick deserves Mako?
Oh, Mako for sure deserves.
But eventually, does he deserve an immediate rematch?
It's fresh on. While we're making it fresh on everyone's mind, and they're hopefully making it fresh on everyone's mind. You start the build up now.
Yeah.
January hits. Everyone's ready for it.
I think these would be. We were talking about promos earlier. This would be some great times to start building up promos for storylines on stuff.
Let me throw a name into that ring.
Okay.
Hold My Bear Hansen, by April, challenges whoever holds the belt.
You think?
By April.
Okay.
He moves on from Cassius Mack, and he goes for the big belt.
Well, he was called out by the Caitlyn.
Yes.
That he needs to
aim higher.
And I wouldn't disagree with that.
So one will only see.
And I just want to say this, is I'm interested to see how... I like how Johnny Maverick has just taken it, and there seems to be actual stewardship, leadership in there, a direction from the commissioner position, the general manager position, whatever it's titled there. I'm interested to see what he's going to take it in 2020.
Best dressed GM in all of South.
My God, he looks like he dresses... Or as you always say, you dress for the job you want, not the one you have.
Right.
So he's always like looking to move up into some other executive position with a different promotion.
That is a suit.
Yes.
So Spinebuster, they are back in January. We'll be doing a pre-show there.
Live one.
A live one. So hopefully we'll get to answer a lot of these questions.
And if you have any thoughts on that too, Mesh, hit us up with that as well. Which takes us to Sunbelt. And dang, there were some storylines that I'm going to be interested to see how they get resolved next weekend.
What a night. It was a fundraiser to help Brooke Mascaro. She's a high school student diagnosed with stage 4 non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. The wrestlers and the crowd and how they interacted to make this event super is just outstanding for a community.
Yeah.
Outstanding for a promotion. And it just shows you that people can really come together and help.
I do. Brooks mentioned this morning on the post is like there was over 200 people.
Yeah.
And everybody was sitting on one side. When we got there wasn't a lot of people in the stands.
And then they just came.
Yeah, maybe they were attracted to our power, or we have that natural attraction of something like that. Because, I mean, we'll get to that because I want to talk about the Bryce Canyon thing here in just a minute. But it was a great show. It was probably Sunbelt. Ching ching. I did it again. Coming strong. Towards the end of 2019.
Got it.
We had Duke repping Order 66 and new ref Matthew Mazzo.
Yes.
And if I mispronounce that, Matthew, I'm sorry.
You are a worse counter than the sweeper.
Yes.
But you did well for your first night.
Yeah. Apparently, yeah. So interested to see him represent. I guess we may see him at the Lean Ox Festival. So I thought he did a decent job.
John Davis should have won.
Yeah, but that's out of our hand. Maybe we need to get in video assisted replay like they do like in NFL and Premier League stuff.
Nice.
One of the matches we had on our like looking forward to, Frank Vaud, is it, how do you pronounce that?
That is tough. I say Voody, but I think it may be Vowdy.
Vowdy, sorry, Frank. And Bryce Canyon, or AKA, as we call him, Bryce Canyon.
Ah, man.
Now, you saw Bryce Canyon posted dynamic duo, him and Eddie Honcho.
Right.
And then who else? And I think we're a dynamic duo.
We are. I mean, we definitely know how
We're
to.
a powerhouse on the mic.
We don't need a DQ to help us out.
We've never been DQ'd or thrown low blows. We've always put it out up front there.
Bryce returned from Las Vegas.
Yeah.
A little rusty.
I probably at some of those ultra lounges.
Too many White Claws.
I think one is too many in my book.
True. Frank was more prepared for this match.
He was angry.
He wanted to take it out on Bryce for making him lose those tag team belts.
Yeah.
And money could not buy this for Bryce.
No, and I think I'll post up the video later, but Bryce does what Bryce does, and chasing his daddy's favor. He's going to try to win, cheat, and steal, which there's some admiration to that, but when you got somebody like Frank Vowdy who's like, bring it, I'll keep going, DQ'd for bringing in the paddle.
The frat boy paddle.
And Brooks Robinson calls it out. It's like they're going to do street match.
At the Lean Ox Festival.
Yeah, so that's another reason to go up on there. Because so we'll see what Bryce's daddy buys for him to use.
My money's on Frank.
I would lean that way too.
Good deal. We'll have to see, Bryce, what you do. This next match, something that we've been waiting for months to see. Stunt Marshall.
Yes.
Hate. Versus Morgan Davis.
Throwback, retro, a lot of
Hulk Hogan.
During the war eras, NWO, Macho Man.
The Pose Championship belt was on the line.
Yes.
Stunt Marshall, proving why he is one of the premier
heels.
And
you bought some Stunt Marshall sunglasses.
I did. I'm gonna wear those all the time to class.
So
block out the hate.
I wanted to get one of those shirts, honestly, but I think if I were wearing something that says hate on that this day and age in the social climate probably does not look good and could create more problems in the long run.
But no, we support Stunt Marshall.
Yeah, if he had something that's not so hate oriented, I get it. It's a great gimmick, and we were so excited. It was a good match.
Yes,
with his valet did a great job of introducing him. Which brings us to Kings of Mayhem, Alejandro and Fury.
No, this was Vernon
Black. I'm sorry. God, we saw anyway. Vernon Black, and Alejandro Open, and Eddie Honcho.
It was a handicap to start.
Yeah.
This was refed by Matthew Mazzo.
Yes.
As we believe. Eddie Honcho proving what Eddie Honcho is. He's a great wrestler. He knows how to woo the fans. You even saw him before the match even started, coming up into the bleachers.
Yeah.
Getting everyone hyped, taking the long route to the ring.
It was very long.
But people got excited, and he made the match the most of it. You saw Kings of Mayhem a little, what would you say, over-eager. They knew they could win.
Yeah.
A lot of confidence.
Overconfident?
Overconfident is the word. But what got the fans really going, Johnny Romano. He was sitting in the stands with his family. He gets up, does the usual Johnny Romano where he's getting hype on that ringside.
Yeah.
We're waiting for the hot tag, and then boom, it happens.
Yeah, takes his shirt off, runs in to help out.
And then
Help out Eddie Honcho, who was in a bad way. Like, there was some...
he made, it was close to a loss. We can...
Yeah. I think Johnny Romano tipped the scales.
And he definitely did.
And this is my complaint about this. Or critique. The Kings of Mayhem were complaining about Johnny Romano coming in. Well, they should have complained right when he came into it. You can't cry crocodile tears after the fact.
Right.
You should have like stopped it, found out if this is legal, because they thought, oh, it doesn't matter, Johnny Romano, like, and it's coming in. We can beat him too. And it's after the fact.
Can't call yourself Kings of Mayhem if you're not willing to.
No. And maybe Eddie Honcho will reform. That was the first match we've seen in a while where Johnny Romano hasn't kicked over a trash can.
True.
And littered.
He's definitely joining the Keep Lounge Valdosta Beautiful.
Yeah, or whatever county that is.
Congratulations.
So, is that Cook County?
I would know.
Keep Cook County clean?
Keep Cook County clean. He's taking our advice.
Yes.
Congratulations to Eddie Honcho and Johnny Romano for being the new tag team champions.
Could you say, though, the Kings of Mayhem, I mean, they won the belts fair and square. We can't deny it was a count out and stuff like that. But it was almost like they had 2 handicap matches in a row. Vowdy and Canyon.
Yes.
And it's almost like Bryce just gave up.
But that's how they won the belt.
Yeah.
So why not? That's be how they lost the belt. A little payback.
Yeah. It is worth. Which brings us to Landon Lashley versus one of our favorites,
El Nino,
who hasn't threatened us with a lawsuit or trash talked us in a while. I don't know. Maybe he hasn't paid his internet bill or his phone bill. We don't know.
Please subscribe to help his numbers.
Yeah. He needs numbers help
so that he can get that payola.
Yeah. We don't want to see him under the underpass anywhere panhandling. So we don't wish that upon anybody.
Landon Lashley coming in with, I mean,
this is like after like what is it? El Chapo came on and they kind of like had a out of the ring last time in Nashville,
right?
And on top of that, Kimbre
spraying the.
No. I'm talking about when we saw him in Nashville. There was like it was almost like a 3-on-1 with Landon.
Right. I mean, he's never. I guess El Nino's always there with some form of help.
Oh, wait.
I see it.
Okay.
With some form of help to take on Landon Lashley.
Yeah.
I mean, what is it going to take for Landon to have his own help?
I think maybe he needs to bring somebody out.
Here it is.
Okay.
Duke.
You think Duke Silver to be his... I mean, but as a referee, you're supposed to be neutral, right? You're just maintaining it.
He doesn't... We put Matthew Mazzo as the ref.
Yeah.
Duke as his wrestling. You know, we get him...
Are you supposed to like a monitor to make sure that there's no chicanery?
I want Duke to wrestle.
Okay. We've seen Duke wrestle. He got kicked out when he was in the Battle Royal in Nashville.
I have high hopes.
Okay.
But... I mean, someone to just be in Landon's corner.
Oh, wait, we got to jump back for a second.
Yes.
Who was the gimp that was with Kings of Mayhem?
No idea, but we have a photo, so if anyone can
recognize who their gimp was.
Who was in the good old black mask, you'll see a photo pop over.
Yeah, I've posted that up this morning.
Great.
So if you guess, like, let us know. Because he really didn't add any value to the match. I think he actually, one of the reasons, cost... They got upset.
They definitely did, and the Kings of Mayhem made mayhem on this guy.
Sorry about that. I totally forgot that part.
It's all good.
There was a lot on last night. But Landon Lashley and El Nino. So you think Duke should be over there?
Yeah. Who better than Order 66 to help out?
What if... Because Lexi Gomez...
Mm-hmm.
Kylene...
Okay.
Would be good. I was like... You want like if you're gonna have a female valet, then have a female. Make it even.
True. Kylan King would be top notch.
She totally just was like had a big pop at Fest when she won her there was like a 3-way battle there. Anyway,
Someone to help Landon.
please.
We'll put out
I think that's going to continue on though next week
at the Leanox.
at the Leanox Festival, which brings us to Hembra Cato.
And she was not rocking her belt that she tells us we should all keep up with.
Well, she was wearing a belt, but it was to keep her pants up.
Oh. We were looking for the championship belt that she supposedly has.
Yeah, that would be nice to see that.
I would like to see it.
Yes.
She went on against Eliza Hayes, our first time seeing her.
Yes.
The tambourine brings back some good old recess memories.
Yeah.
But Ember Cato, many would think that she needed El Nino to win this match. That's a negativo, as Landon Lashley chased El Nino.
Once he wiped whatever mystery thing they sprayed in his face.
Right. He came back, chased El Nino out of the ring, and then it became about skill versus skill. Ember Cato, a champion of her own right,
Yeah.
proved that she does not need El Nino in her corner.
Maybe that's food for thought. Is maybe he is dragging her down.
Maybe.
He's not adding value to her.
She's a true winner.
Yeah.
She's a champ. Mm-hmm. He is not.
No. Hunter Young, the wrestling with the message champ versus Jay Too Strong. Now, coming into this, we both thought Jay Too Strong. This is his third match since back, as far as we know.
Right.
Ring rust is always a concern. It was a serious injury. Where is he going to stand? Because we know Hunter Young, strong skills, great shape.
High flyer.
So, to be honest, I didn't think Jay Too Strong had a chance.
That is true. We were told also to keep up with the number of knees.
What was the magic number that hit finally?
I got 7. I counted 7.
Okay, I was at 5, but I may have been distracted at certain points. But we both agreed when we were talking.
Match of the night.
Match of the night.
The match of the night between these two young wrestlers. You think about their style, and even at points, I think they realized that they had similar styles, because when they would go for the drop kick, or the arm bar,
Yeah.
and they're all trying out the creative ways to get out of it.
Yeah. A lot of flips.
A lot of flips. Who were you with? Were you with the Hunter Young on one side of the gym, and the other side was with the Too Strong Army? I mean,
I don't know, but when I posted up the picture, because that became our the picture on our Facebook, like the main one or whatever, somebody's like, who won? Because the picture then you see Brooke is standing there, and they were giving her T-shirts and giving her words of inspiration and whatnot, and then Jay's on one side and Hunter's on the other side, and I'm like, time limit, there's no winner. And she's like, dang, and I'm like, well, they're doing a rematch. Again, this is another rematch.
I'd love to see it.
So if you missed round 1, again, next Saturday, April 16th, it's going to be in Leanox Festival. And I don't know how, again, we talk about like the last Jay Too Strong, how's he going to top this?
It has to be longer. They need a longer time limit.
So,
a longer time limit, I would say.
yeah. But this will determine, hopefully there'll be a winner next time.
Hopefully so. Right now it's 0-0 and 1.
Yeah, is it?
It's a draw.
Draw, yeah.
Draw.
Fair enough. Jared Michaels, Mr. Saturday Night, versus Hex Cruz, who probably needs to go get his nose checked.
Yeah, everyone held his nose, from Brooke to Duke to, man, his nose. Hopefully it's feeling okay. You saw towards the middle of the match.
Yeah.
That even he had to check his nose to see
if it was broken or not.
Right.
So, but Jared Michaels comes ahead, wins this one pretty easily for the most part.
He's Mr. Saturday Night, Mr. Time for a Show. You even saw when they were running back against the ropes that he found time to slide out, sit next to Brooke, watch while Hex Cruz runs himself tired.
Yeah. There's a little bit of rope-a-dope.
Rope-a-dope.
Brings us to the headlining, the main event. And we saw a little bit of pre of this when they came out at the beginning of the show. The Storm was talking about how he's had to reinvent. It's almost a rebranding.
New music,
new look.
new clothes.
New clothes, yes. All that. And then John Davis comes out.
That dude.
Yeah. Saying, and everybody's like, we want to see it now. And he's like, all right, well, you want to see it? You're going to have to stick around in the main event, which I thought was great.
Right. We talk about legacy early on in the show, and we say, and this is where it hits hard, the Storm says this is where his legacy begins tonight. And then you have on the other side John Davis saying, I've had a lot of people saying they want to start their legacy with me, and it hasn't happened. They try. So we see the Storm come out, and he's facing this John Davis, that dude, and we have to wonder what's separating this new Storm versus the old Storm.
Yeah. I don't know. I think time will tell. And
we'll see him in Pavo next week.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll be able to better tell what this legacy is. I think it's going to take a couple of matches for us to tell.
What is the legacy of the Storm?
Yeah. So that is that. I think that's how that was. I would give this an A.
An A, a pure A.
Pure A on this. It was just everything we were talking about. What makes for good shows? This hit every point.
It did
last night, which also builds up to next Saturday, November 16th, 1 p.m. bell time. It is a free show, kiddos. The Lean Ox Festival show. And it's going to start off, and we go through this pretty quickly because we talked about this last week, and we kind of previewed a little bit. They're going to start out with, the annual Lean Ox Battle Royal Cup will take place. Valdi versus Canyon. And Valdi's, I think...
He's ready.
He's ready. Mr. Saturday Night versus somebody who we've been high praises on lately, the Scorcher.
Can't wait to see who wins this one.
Yes. The Croc versus Goodness in a dog collar match.
This is a grudge match. If you haven't seen that promo video, be sure to watch it.
Check it out. Maybe we need to put links on the webpage,
yes,
on the Facebook page. Landon Lashley versus Cassius Mack. This is a no DQ, so I thought El Nino was going to be there. I was wrong. Apologize for that. And Cassius Mack is just, he's like always like wanting people to like him for some reason. Like he's just like, he's got low self-esteem of some sort.
Well, this one will not help, as my money's on Landon Lashley.
A rematch of the Kings of Mayhem versus Eddie Honcho and Johnny Romano for the tag team belts.
Yes.
So whoever is the winner. So if Kings of Mayhem lose, they have no excuse.
They don't. They knew walking in who their opponent is.
And then for the heavyweight championship belt, or the Sun Belt heavyweight belt, Mike Payne. Versus Brother Azrael.
All right. We figured this out at the anti-bullying event.
Yeah.
The what is it? The flyers have been going around.
Yeah.
We've seen it. Payne versus Azrael.
This is really a call to Brother Azrael.
This is a step up.
Yeah.
We've seen people go up against Mike Payne. Mm-hmm. No one's beat him yet. Fairly. No one's beat him yet.
No.
I think Brother Azrael, this is your shot.
This would be your calling card. You talk about legacy building. This would be beginning to him to create a new legacy.
Like if you beat Mike Payne, that's like a check.
Yes, and you could go back to that blogger that trash talked you
and tell him all about it.
Yeah, I think just the W, proof of the pudding.
Right.
SWA. This is a double header here, and we talked about this last episode. Go back, but November 16th, Revolution. I think what bell time is going to be 7.
Maybe
7. Doors open at 6:30 on there. One of the matches we're looking forward to. We talked about this for a long time.
Alexander Knight versus El Nino. This is where we'll see El Nino.
Yes.
So this one, social media game was strong. A lot of comments going back, a lot of keyboard warriors.
Yeah.
Now this is where you put your promo, your video skills, and to the challenge.
And we definitely think El Nino is a keyboard warrior, though.
That is true.
Hold that. We said it to his face.
We will not subscribe.
Yes. And these are in no particular order. I need to go. Storm returns.
First title rematch against Punkadelic James Morrison.
And is this part of the Storm's legacy building?
Taking on his teacher.
Yeah.
As we've seen in the video.
A mentor of some sort. I don't know.
I mean, we've had it in the videos of where they've wrestled and how it meant to him.
Mm-hmm.
James Morrison took the title away from him.
In a weird challenge match.
What does this mean if the Storm loses?
Yeah.
Here. And also, what does it mean if he wins? Does this mean that Rod Grimes has that championship aspiration again?
Yeah. Who knows?
Who knows?
Aiden Knight coming back to the ring.
Everyone get excited.
Versus King of the Lightweights, Chris Spider, who I think he made my power rankings last episode.
For like pure, he tried?
For pure trying, gumption. Will he be able to hold on to that spot when we do those again?
I hope so. I mean, Chris Spider doesn't have any ring rust. He's been wrestling.
Yeah.
You have to think that he's ready for any fight. Aiden Knight's returning. This is Pavo hasn't seen him in a while.
Yeah.
My money, I gotta go with Chris Spider on this one.
Ooh. I'm not gonna make a call on that one.
Okay.
So we have the Soviet Assassin versus the Hood Star Dark Rage. Obviously, interesting to see what Mayor Wrestler, the Mayor of Wrestling, has to say as he hypes this one up for the Soviet Assassin. And Dark Rage always...
Dandy Jack.
Yeah, it's almost like manager versus manager at the same time as well.
Make America Hood again, as Dark Rage says.
And then we've got the Technical Alchemist, David Mercury, versus, this is a rematch from last time they met, versus the Scoundrel, Rod Grimes. And both of those cats, I mean, I think David Mercury has something to prove. And I think also Rod Grimes, both of them have something to prove. Rod Grimes needs to start building back what he'd lost.
Right. And David Mercury needs... I mean, he's not someone who needs a title, but it would look good. What would SWA look like if he was your main champion, your SWA champion?
That's a good question. And somebody is returning, somebody special apparently that we've not been told.
Yeah.
For a certain challenge, an SWA original. So we will find out, and we'll be talking about all of this stuff. Both these matches in a couple weeks when we come back. So that's what's going on.
That's what's going on in the world of indie wrestling.
It's like we had a nice break, and then it's like, bam!
2 weeks straight.
Yes.
We're going to wrestling. Food reviews, we have them. What is it? I come in, you ordered before me after Sunbelt when we went to Whataburger.
Yeah.
And somehow we ended up with the same order.
Yes.
We just knew it. And I gotta say, those burgers are huge.
Yeah.
That was a quality hamburger.
I like Whataburger. It's a good refresher. It's almost like we're cheating on Taco Bell. We haven't got love from Taco Bell. So the question is, we're dating other people right now, Taco Bell.
We are.
I like the spicy ketchup.
Yes.
I like that the root beer always works.
It is. The people are nice.
Yes.
No attitudes.
No.
So that was just something nice about Whataburger.
And then you tried something different.
This was my first time having boiled peanuts.
No nachos.
No nachos. Boiled peanuts was something new for me. I don't know why people like them. It was very slimy or wet.
It's a very southern thing.
Yeah. But Duke has offered up another thing of southern tradition that I should try by putting peanuts in a Coke.
Yeah.
And seeing how that goes in life.
I think that between now and the next episode, I don't drink Coke.
Okay.
I've given up like that thing. I mean, like you see, I drink like a root beer maybe like once or whenever we go. Occasionally, I'll get a root beer.
Right.
So my soda consumption is way down. So you try that and then report back.
You got it.
Salted peanuts in a glass with the soda on it. Let it settle and go, and then we'll get a review of peanuts in a Coca-Cola.
We'll see how it goes.
Yes. Do you want to take this out?
In all seriousness, we still want to be Taco Bell famous, so please subscribe to our YouTube page, like the Facebook page, follow us on Instagram at The Professors of Wrestling, share it all, join in the discussion, and remember, we want to be a community. I'm Dorrian. You can find me on Twitter at D2Baber.
I'm Dave. I'm at Just a Professor.
And we are the Professors of Wrestling.